everyone, and welcome to Stronghold with me, the Sprite.
Me, the Doctor.
And I, the Bard. Oh, we're just right to it, are we? I'm having a really good time with this, to be perfectly frank. Like, this has been great so far.
Me too, and the Sprite has just made me some kind of delicious orange drink. What is it? What am I drinking?
An orange drink, if you will.
Well, it's basically, in 100 ml of Bailey's, roughly, about a shot of Tia Maria and a tiny bit of that salted caramel liqueur.
Oh, so it's kind of a weird White Russian in its own sense.
Yeah, it doesn't have any vodka in it.
And we are taking on the rat in the Rat's Last Stand.
I'm on the White Russians tonight viewership, if it means anything to you. I'm surprised there's no Cointreau going Sprite.
It's because the Sprite's not drinking tonight.
It's because the Sprite is so tired. If I drink any alcohol, I will pass out in this chair, and this chair is very uncomfortable.
Oh, Sprite, you're doing well to keep up with this.
I'm doing my best. I've already considered slinking off to my bed.
Well, you do what you have to do, Sprite. Shall we discuss the actual historical political situation in England in 1066?
Yes,
Since
please,
we're in
I know
Kent
nothing.
in 1066, yes. Oh, sorry, we'll let the pig talk first.
Oh, Jesus. No one asked me.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
big
what the pig sounds
Cockney
like.
person. I hate the Cockney accent.
Oh, you're not going to like Macemen then.
Oh,
We
dear.
are the Macemen. They're basically 40k orcs.
His parents abandoned him.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a put down.
I like how well all of the four characters are still ostensibly human. They very much have the characteristics of the animals they are sent to be.
Yeah, he also gives him a bit of a cop-out, doesn't it? It's like, oh, it's the pig. He doesn't have to correspond with any particular nobleman in history. He's the pig. Oink, oink.
There's a mission later on where we find the pig that is called smoked bacon.
Brilliant. Other flip we'll talk about when we get to it, because there's actually a very interesting incident in medieval history that involves flaming pigs.
Oh, Hannibal.
I know. I don't know about the Hannibal story, but this involves.
It was Hannibal attacked with elephants and was.
Yes, he did.
And was repelled by flaming pigs, which apparently repel elephants really well. Oh, by the way, we have a moat and a drawbridge now.
I do see that. Do you want to talk about those, or do you want to talk about 1066 first?
I will just say briefly, so our mission here is we've got the rats. We've taken control of one of the rats' forces, old fortresses in Sussex or Kent, one of those two. And we are currently making it battle ready, including digging the moat. Only certain light units can dig moats, either to dig our own or fill in an enemy's moat. Archers and spearmen are both capable of digging moats. So I'm just going to be kind of preparing for a fight, basically. So on you go.
Cool. Oh, can you tunnel with the light units now?
No, we need tunnelers for that, which is much later in the game.
Okay, well, we'll talk about those when we get to them. But we're going to talk about the actual political situation in 1066.
Oh, we've got. Oh, no, ignore me. Continue.
No, I shall. But we'll talk about the actual political situation in 1066, which was fascinating. So, in 1066, Harold Godwinson. I'm going to call him Godwinson henceforward because, for reasons that will come apparent,
there's a lot of Harolds. Yes,
there's so many Harolds.
Can't forget Harold Hardrada and Harold Bluetooth. They're also kicking around.
We're about to get to Harold Hardrada. Actually, Harold Hardrada is maybe my favourite character in all of history. I massively project onto him. But Harold Godwinson is now the King of England in 1066. His claim is somewhat dubious, so he seems to suggest that the previous King of England, who I believe is Edward the Confessor, he claims that on his deathbed, Edward the Confessor bequeathed the Kingdom of England to him. Controversially, there are two other claimants to the throne of England. One of them is Harold Hardrada, the King of Norway, who is an unstoppable 51-year-old badass with 30 years of fighting experience. He's effectively
That's insane for that era when you think about it as well. What 30 years of fighting experience actually means. Also, you notice we now have stone towers as an option. They're square towers, which is a thing, but yes. But you see, from there, our archers can easily hit these catapults. The viewpoint you get from towers versus walls is incredible. We will take this thing down before long. And frankly, having their walls knocked down doesn't matter as much when we've got a fucking moat. Continue.
Very much so. So the first claimant, other than Harold Godwinson, to the throne of England is Harold Hardrada. He is effectively a Viking. He fights his first pitched battle at the age of 15, which is fought possibly under a scientifically verifiable eclipse. So, like,
wasn't he giant as well?
He's allegedly, right? There's a really good line when he eventually confronts Harold Godwinson at Stamford Bridge in the final battle of both
Chelsea football ground.
Yeah. Oh, no,
it's not. But, I mean, Chelsea's grounds are called Stamford Bridge, but it's there in London, whereas that Stamford Bridge is somewhere in the north.
But like when Harold Hardrada fights Harold Godwinson at Stamford Bridge in the year 1066, very relevant to the period we're playing in. Apparently, there's a truce that's called, and like Harold Hardrada is given, like, he can surrender, and like they say, we'll let your men go free, but all we're going to give you, Hardrada, is 7 feet of English earth because we hear you're taller than a regular man. They're like, basically, we're going to give you an extra large grave because we hear you're way over 6 feet tall. So he's meant to have been like a giant of a man. Clearly, he probably wasn't 7 feet tall.
No, but he was probably a big Norse bastard, which they weren't used to seeing.
Exactly. Even if he was like over 6 feet tall, for a man of his time, he'd be gigantic. But like he fights his first pitched battle at 15. He goes into exile in the Byzantine Empire. He joins the elite Varangian Guard, which are basically like a mercenary band of Vikings who are in service to the Byzantine Emperor. He gets embroiled in a whole lot of fighting. He comes back as one of the privately richest men in Europe, pivots his wealth into becoming the King of Norway. He fights this incredible, incessant Viking war, where there's like a weird battle where they fight like 200 longships against 200 longships against the King of Sweden, where they fight deck to deck with all these ships lashed together. Like, the guy has been fighting since the age of 15, and now he's like become the King of Norway, and he also has a claim on the kingship of England, because the previous ancient king, Canute, who had been a Norse king, had said that his...
that one.
King Canute,
it's funny when
King
it's
Canute
written
the
down.
Great. He commands something called we'll talk about King Canute maybe later on, but like he's an ancient Viking king who commanded the North Sea Empire, basically all of Scandinavia and the United Kingdom.
Yeah, he was the one who reckoned he could tell the tide to go the other way, which turned out to be bollocks.
Well, no, actually, the reverse. So, like, he wanted to convert his empire to Christianity because he recognized that, like, if you are all Christian, there's a very easy line of succession. You have the backing of the papacy.
Yeah.
It's easier to enforce your royal authority if you're a Christian. So he went. And
I'm going to briefly interrupt you here because we've got access to a new thing which I hadn't noticed. We have good things and bad things. Good things increase popularity and increase your army's defensive powers, but they slow your people down because your people are like, I don't need to work, the Lord's really nice. So I am going to build a couple of them, which is going to slow stuff down. You'll notice now my guys about their health have those 2 little heart containers. So that means when their health is exhausted, they have to go through those ones as well. They do a little more attack and a little more defense. And we get a bit of popularity for it. We notice we're getting +2 on fear factor, which I'm going to trade off for taxes. It means people slow down, but I'm actually then just going to use gold and the marketplace to buy in the weapons I need. Rather than actually
so complicated.
So I'm basically being nice to them, therefore taxing them more, and therefore buying the excess difference in production for them being lazier. Continue.
Wild. I mean, look, this game is way more complicated than it is any right to be.
I know. And as you can see, I both love this game and have played it a fucking shit ton. But when you're defending, having that extra like hit point and damage boost that just makes your floats more durable is so advantageous.
Just the fact you could rhyme all that off so concisely and comprehensively, Doctor.
I've played this a lot.
No, I'm glad that
if everyone's enjoyed this, go back and watch some videos where I kick the absolute 7 shades of shit out of the dragon in this game because he's not prepared for my bullshit.
I'm just because you suggested that maybe I could be in the driver's seat for this game, and I'm really glad we didn't.
You would have been fine, but I'll admit, this is one of. There aren't that many games that I think I know extremely well and I would consider myself pretty good at. This is one of them, but this is also, I'm not kidding when I say this is generally acknowledged to be an extremely difficult game. Both in terms of what's going on and just the difficulty of the campaign, frankly.
You're doing very well. Now, I've got to... Do you mind if I backtrack?
Yep, back to Harold Hardrada.
So, we were talking about King Canute. So, nominally, Harold Hardrada, when King Canute divides his empire amongst his sons... He says that like certain members of his sons who are kings of Norway will also have a claim on the King of England. I'm paraphrasing hugely just to get to the point. Anyway, Harold Hardrada thinks that he's got a nominal claim on the throneship of England, which he probably doesn't.
Yeah, I remember knowing that was tenuous.
Yeah, he also claims that towards the end of his life, Edward the Confessor, the previous king of England before 1066, had said that Hardrada would accede to the throne. And it's almost definite that this is a lie. but also Hardrada is effectively a Viking warlord who spent his whole life conquering and plundering and pillaging. So who cares? He reckons he
can claim kingship to whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah,
exactly, and he does. So I love Hardrada. He lives, to me, one of the most fascinating lives of any person in any period in like medieval or even European history. So he goes from being an exile at 15 to being the king of Norway, just on the fact that he's very, very good at fighting and he's very, very good at getting rich. Now,
very good at getting rich is a funny phrase. Yeah.
I mean, like, the two are almost interlinked, right? Because if you're pillaging, then you are simultaneously becoming quite rich. Are those Morris dancers?
Maypole. A maypole is an option for the good thing, yes.
Excellent. Anyway, so this is...
if there were Morris dancers, they'd be the stick and bucket dance.
Yeah, whereas that's very much a maypole. Apparently a phallic symbol.
Pause briefly. Oh no! Technical difficulties. Show the milk tanks.
Everything.
Well, no, I was going to say, according to famously historic film The Wicker Man.
The situation is fraught, viewership, much like the situation in the England of 1066 was incredibly fraught.
The computer was so excited by the maypole chat that it just completely lost internet connection.
Hang on,
Yes?
Hang on, we're going to do the cows again because the noise is deafening.
Oh, yes, it will be, of course. Give me a second.
Just all I could hear was mooing. Please keep this in and now transition to the milk tax.
Right, please turn that Olympus team viewer down to...
About 11.
No, I think you had it below 11 before.
I had it 3. That'll do.
Deafening mooing noises. And children laughing around the maypole. Right, let's try.
Please keep that in because it was terrible. All I could hear was laughter and
Is this better?
That's
you can still hear Geordie noises though.
Absolutely.
My boy's
anyway,
yours.
Before the technical difficulties, viewership, I had just finished describing Harold Godwinson, the Saxon King of England, the first claimant to his throne, which was Harold Hardrada, my personal favourite, the Viking warlord. But of course, that is the third and most famous claimant to the throne of England in 1066, and that is none other than William the Conqueror. Do you want to know a fun fact about William the Conqueror, Doctor?
He was known as William the Bastard, which I found very funny when I saw that in history textbooks as a kid.
He absolutely was. Do you want to, in your best northern accent, do you want to say the word bastard? Bastard. It's a great thing to say in a northern accent. But yeah, he absolutely was. He was I'm fairly certain, a legitimised bastard, but the really fun thing at William the Conqueror is much like Harold Hardrada, he spends most of his life fighting. He's in combat for his entire adult life, crushing rebellions. He's another one who's a total man-child. At the age of 17, he fights his first battle. William the Conqueror is also a badass. Unlike sort of like
he was
Hardrada,
very young as well, wasn't he? If I remember correctly.
Oh, not when he conquers England. I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s when he conquers England.
But very old, surprisingly so.
Yeah, for a man of his time, very old, very robust, and much like Hardrada, as we're about to find out, he also dies in battle.
Catapult. We'll be fine if I can take the catapult.
Also,
there we go, we're fine.
I'm pretty sure that William... Oh, no, not at all. I'm pretty sure that William the Bastard also dies in his early 60s. Hardrada's 51, I'm pretty sure that William is minimally 60 when he dies in battle. So to still be fighting in armor, on horseback, swinging a sword at 61, I mean that's older than my dad, and my dad can't run a 5k.
Yeah, but when you've got not much other stuff going on, there we go. That was nice and easy.
He'll have been put in his armor by servants. He'll have been lifted onto a horse by servants, and he'll just be walking around.
Actually, no. Chainmail is not as heavy as you would think. You can absolutely wear chainmail and get onto a horse on your own. You don't.
Yeah, but a 60-year-old wasn't.
he is meant to be William the Conqueror, at least anyway. He's not the average 60-year-old, but throughout his entire adult life, he's described as incredibly strong.
Yeah, but people say that Henry VIII's son was sickly, and there's no evidence for it. It's just because he died young of a fucking infection.
Sorry to cut this short. Can anyone remember how long we were running this episode for? I lost track.
No.
It was not
do you want to close it out?
Should we do another? We'll do another. Fine. Continue the chat.
We're continuing.
Oh, we've also fucking slit the rat. He's dead.
Slit the rat. Like, surely William the Conqueror would have crushed this man in half the time that we did. not to shit on you, Doctor, but you're not William the Conqueror.
Now to Carmarthenshire. Wait, that's not Carmarthenshire. That's
Pembrokeshire.
No, Pembrokeshire is again Carmarthen. So the one to the left is definitely Carnarvon, Carmarthenshire, and Pembrokeshire are all smushed into that one on the left.
Okay.
This is whichever one has Cardiff in it.
Well,
South Wales.
There is a name for it though. I'm gonna look this up. I need to know. It's important to me. Is this Gwynedd? No, Gwyned's further north. Glamorganshire. There we go. Continue.